Hey, it's Chris.
So here's a question for you. Would you ever consider basically leasing your Apple hardware, not just your phone, similar to what you would do when you lease a car? Because that is something that Apple is actually considering. So everything is going subscription these days. Apple obviously has the Apple One subscription, and they've put all their different services into one bundle. You can subscribe separately, of course, but if you want everything at a slight discount, you can get Apple One. So Apple is basically becoming obsessed with subscriptions, and that obsession is now carrying over potentially into the hardware realm. Now, my immediate reaction to this is this could be good or this could be bad. I'm not really sure what I think about it yet. I do know this. Some people are going to see this and be like, okay, well, now I can afford the Mac Studio or some iPad that I could never afford before because I can get it at just a cheaper, an affordable rate, but ongoing. So I see some people are going to be like pretty excited about it for that reason. In the same way that people probably could lease a luxury car that maybe they wouldn't be able to just normally afford outright if they just bought it, kind of like that. One thing just right off the bat that I'm thinking is people have so much subscription fatigue. I feel like I almost talk about it every other episode on the podcast because even if it's small, like $6 a month for a bunch of movies that someone might like from a new streaming service, people are like, I don't know if I even want to pay that. So obviously I have no idea what it would actually cost to do this sort of a hardware lease with, we've seen kind of like payment programs for iPhones, but what would it cost for like a really decked out Mac or, the top of the line iPad Pro, for instance? Probably quite a bit. Something interesting to think about, an angle here, is that we've kind of, as Apple customers, told Apple that we're on board with subscriptions. Go ahead and use subscriptions with us, right? With Apple Music, how many of us are Apple Music subscribers? That's an ongoing subscription. Same thing with iCloud. If you want to make sure all your stuff's backed up and you have plenty of cloud storage, you get a little bit for free. But if you are serious about it, you've told Apple, I'm okay with a subscription for that too. And the list goes on and on and on. Apple Arcade, Apple News Plus, Apple Fitness Plus. Now, I don't subscribe to most of this stuff because I really, honestly, at the end of the day, I mostly like Apple's hardware the best. When it gets to its services and its content, I'm mostly not very interested. But something that's interesting, if you're looking at the Apple One subscription, because, this is a subscription that we already know Apple's put out there. They've got individual, family, and premier subscriptions. Would they do something similar on the hardware side? That's interesting to think about. An individual subscription, for your new Mac Studio, or a family subscription if a couple people want some Apple devices, then a Premier if you just get all access to stuff. There's a lot of interesting ways that Apple could potentially approach this. Now, if this is something that's like really exciting for you, it sounds like it's either been pushed back a little bit or might be on hold because Apple's first priority at the moment, according to Bloomberg, it seems to be a buy now, pay later service. And I understand that. When I put together my crypto course, I had two options. I let people pay $150 for the full course, or people could do 4 payments and break that down a little bit and make it a little easier to afford. So, Apple is always thinking, how can we sell more stuff to people? And so I know that people buy a lot more of my crypto course anyways when I offer that payment plan. And obviously Apple's going to do that if they can get more sales that way. Now, this honestly isn't just being pulled out of thin air, this whole idea. There's already companies out there, hardware companies, who are offering customers hardware in subscription format. One of those is Peloton. And they recently started testing a subscription service that lets consumers lease their bikes and their fitness content for between $60 and $100 per month. Now, did you catch that? It's not just the bikes, it's also the content. And I feel like in the same way that Apple has traditionally been all about, we don't just make the devices, but we also make the software. And because of that integration, our stuff's so much better. Apple's starting to also say, we don't just make the hardware, but we also make the services for the content as well. And that's a differentiator that you're not going to get from Google or Huawei or OnePlus, because in a lot of ways, those other companies are starting to catch up in a lot of Apple's cool, innovative ecosystem features. So this content push, these subscriptions is another way, not only for Apple to make money, but for them, they're trying to say, hey, we're doing stuff that you're not going to find elsewhere. Isn't that a great service for you? Wink, wink. And another example that we could give of hardware companies offering leases would be Google with their Chromebooks. I got to say, that's mostly targeted to corporations rather than consumers. So that is a little different, but it's not like this isn't out there happening already. So I'd be really surprised. I'll tell you right now, if this doesn't eventually, in the next couple of years, make it out there into the actual realm of possibility.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. This was actually just a clip, but I'm going to link up the full content down in the description, along with a link to our main channel and the Daily Tech podcast. If you're into Apple stuff, if you just want to hang out, that will improve your week, guaranteed. Comes out on Fridays. Also, I'm going to link up Jasper.ai. It's my favorite artificial intelligence writing assistant. I rely on it all the time. It's going to blow your mind with how much time it'll save you. I really think it'll make your life better. Last but not least, if you like the vibe of this video and you want to bring a big smile to my face, then why not hit that subscribe button?